Hello and welcome to another episode of Santa's Coleman. This week we're a man down because Rory is otherwise occupied, and so it's just myself, Alex Miller.
And me, Jason Button.
Right, so we'll kick things off with last weekend's game on Saturday, which was live on Sky against Cardiff.
In front of the nation, which I'm sure we're very thankful for.
Yeah, they all got to see how brilliant and amazing Sunderland are. I mean, I wish I could say that truthfully, but it was a 4-0
demolition job, really, wasn't it?
All in the second half, and it just summed up to people who hadn't probably seen Sunderland play much this season, or the ones who'd probably stayed away a bit more.
It really has shown, I wouldn't say what they're missing, but I think it has opened the nation's eyes as to seeing the situation of the club.
I mean, we're already an embarrassment as it is, but now people can see. Well, I mean, they won't get another chance. Cause
I think that might help, because I'm not saying it's going to help the club perform better, but it means that there might be that, I don't want to say pity, but that acceptance that Sunderland are actually in the state that they're in.
I mean, we're bottom of the league for a reason, and that's because we haven't been good enough, and due to the 4 goals we conceded at the weekend, we now have the worst conceding record in the league as well, which...
I mean, we were in the Lantern Worm watching it, which was the start of a very, very, very long day. The less said about that, the better. But the way after each goal went in, the pub got more and more quiet, and I've never seen a pub that full be so silent. It was almost ghost-like.
It was just a bit grim, because I mean, it's just everyone with the same opinion and how they feel about Sunderland. It's just a bit. It's just demoralising, really. But
everyone's got these ideas. Everyone knows what could be changed, and there's nothing being done. I'm not sure. I mean, none of us know the true situation behind the scenes of the club. But there's got to be things that can be improved. There has to be, surely.
And we'll talk about the goals, unfortunately. But the first one was a corner in I think about the first or second minute of the second half. And that was Patterson who scored after. I mean, Reuter has to do a bit better. If he's going to commit to going out outside of his obviously off his goal line, he's got to try and clear out through everyone who's basically there.
The thing is, in that sort of situation, the goalkeeper, he's got, obviously, if he's going to come out, he needs to be able to collect it. But he was who was it who was blocking him? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, he's got to get by.
He needs to get by, and he was screaming for a foul straight after. There was no foul in there whatsoever. But I think we also need to talk about Billy Jones there, because he was that was just unacceptable defending from him, especially at the Championship level.
He got just bullied by the Cardiff player, and in the end, it's just not good enough. That's not good enough. That's why we've conceded so many goals. I mean, no one ever likes to see goals from set pieces either. I mean, I remember the last one against Barnsley was awful. I mean, from a different perspective, this one was almost as bad. Just purely poor defending and poor goalkeeping.
I've looked at that goal a couple of times now, and I can't see a piece of good defending there. Any players on the posts weren't there by the time that the ball went in. Any opportunity for the blocking player to get not thrown out of the way, but to get out of Reuter's path wasn't taken. It's a free head, or as much of a free header as you're going to get when there's a Sunderland player 2 yards away from you.
It was just poor all round, and then it got worse not too long after when Didier Ndong was sent off. And I've looked at this a few times, and I think it's borderline either way. And I think obviously he's given the ref a decision to make.
Yeah, I mean, I've defended Didier Ndong till the end, or have done so far, depending on when the end's going to come.
Soon, I'd imagine.
Sooner rather than later for most people, I'm guessing. But like you said, it was a rash challenge. I was expecting a yellow, just little talking to, card comes out, track back, get on with the game. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that red card to be pulled out.
And I think the Cardiff players did play a part with surrounding the ref, because I mean there was about 5 or 6 Cardiff players all there.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I reckon refs would say that doesn't influence them, but it definitely does.
Because I've refereed, even just at the youth level, but sometimes when all eyes are on you, you do start to second guess yourself. Like if you're thinking to yourself, oh, everyone else thinks this is red, have I got it wrong? And it's not the right mentality to have as a referee, but sometimes you do just think, have I got a bad angle on it?
Yeah.
Is it as bad as, or is it as good as I might have seen it? Because you're sometimes, especially when you've got, well, it's easier in the Championship because you've got like direct contacts with linesmen on either side. But sometimes you do still look at it and go, I need to make this decision in a split second, and everyone's saying that it should be this one thing.
And you don't want to really bottle a decision either. You want to be like assertive and like a confident referee. But I mean, sometimes in the past referees they've gone like, I wouldn't say like power mad, but to that sort of extent.
I think we've seen it with Mike Dean in the past, to be honest. The human highlight reel of a referee.
I mean, I was watching the Chelsea game yesterday, and I think the ref booked about 3 or 4 players for
simulation, yeah.
Yeah, for diving, and I think he just got caught up in a bit and like saw everyone's diving. But I mean, yeah, just I think refs sometimes. I think that I bet they wish they could just take a step back and have no one around them and just think about it a bit longer. But
that's the nature of the sport now.
Yeah.
It's tough to get anything. It's tough to get or to go from where we are now, as like in those sort of situations, into anything that's remotely like say rugby, because there's been a lot of examples there where referees are able to step back from everything if they need to. Within reason, there is a level of respect there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. VAR is being tested a lot. I suppose it's in Syria like all the time now. But I mean, I feel like it won't make it to the Championship for a few years. But I mean, that's another sort of like step forward to try and help referees for like situations kind of like this. But I mean, it's all about opinions. I mean, because one ref might say that wasn't a red card, but then another one saying obviously the ref who was doing the game obviously did. So yeah, but I mean,
I'm to be honest, to this day, I'm still amazed that it was a red card. To be honest, I mean, like you said, it's a game of opinions, but I didn't see. I mean, it was dangerous to an extent, but I wouldn't have said it was overly horrendous.
Yeah, but either way, I still don't think it would have changed the result. But I mean, looking at the second goal, it was actually from a Sunderland corner where Cardiff broke with their striker as a whole, and it was just a bit poor defending again. Both like a bit lack of communication as well with Browning and Clark-Salter. After one of them needs to stay in the middle. Like, I think he did get the better of Clark-Salter, but I mean, there's a guy free in the middle, and obviously Joe Rolls who did get the goal. I mean, it was a good finish, but it could have been stopped.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get on to Clark-Salter later on in the podcast, but it is again, it's one of those things where it's just lack of communication. We've seen it all season, and in fact for the last few years at Sunderland. Like you said, there was 2 players going in for the man on the ball. That left the goal scorer in so much space. There was only really one man trying to track him from Sunderland's perspective. That's where Oviedo should be tracking back. It was on his side. On the Sunderland left side, there was so much space there for anyone to push back, to pull back, or for Cardiff to push forward.
Yeah, because it was from like a Sunderland set piece, and you'd think there'd be one or at least 2 players back, and they're normally
you need to be aware of those sort of situations,
especially
at 1-0.
They're normally the quicker players as well, like, and like the fullbacks who aren't like that. Yeah. But I don't know whether Oviedo was or like Billy Jones either.
No.
But we'll get on to Billy Jones in a bit. And but yeah, after the second goal, that was basically the end of the game. Because I mean, Sunderland would be lucky to score twice in the game, not 3. But yeah, for the third goal, it was actually from another set piece where it was a deflected free kick, and it was Patterson again who scored his second goal of the game. And as I mentioned, Billy Jones again didn't react quick enough. He didn't defend well enough. Just wasn't aware of his man on who was free. I mean, again, it was a decent finish, but it's just got to be more. You've just got to be aware and concentrate more. Like, on what's going to happen. Expect the worst. Expect it deflected to him, but no, Billy Jones just doesn't seem competent enough to defend at the minute.
That's the thing. There was a complete lack of competence, to be honest, at the back, and you need to be able to track your man, especially at that level, and especially when you're in this situation where every point could count. And going down to 3-0, well, we said it was better than 2-0. It was brutally murdered by 3-0, to be honest.
And for the fourth goal, again, it's another situation of where's the defence? Like, I don't know. I don't know where they were.
Again, I've watched the fourth goal again plenty of times now, and I'm still trying to work out where the 10 players on the pitch were, because it came from as they say in American sports, a turnover of possession, and I think it was from the Sunderland's left-hand side that it came out from, and Cardiff just countered far too quickly. But there was no stability along the back line for Sunderland. It was just, again, it was embarrassing to watch.
And I mean, Catamol, who came on, was the only man in the shot, because Brown went over towards the man, and I mean, there was no players in the middle apart from Catamol, and even he was about 5 yards behind Pilkington, who finished it off. So yeah, it just highlights how bad we were. And I mean, you'd think at 10 men, you'd just be like, it's damage limitation, just get everyone basically behind the ball and just make sure it doesn't become stupid sort of thing.
Yeah, it's damage limitation, because once you get to 3-0, it's you need to try and retain whatever you can get from that game. Don't push on, because after the second goal, you know that they can counter well, and it's just lack of game management, isn't it? It really is. We've mentioned Clark Saucer. It was his debut on Saturday. But how did you think he did? I mean, we've already said that the defence as a whole wasn't incredible.
I mean, I thought he was alright. He looked relatively decent on the ball, and that's what I've been told about. I mean, he's not bad ball playing sort of defender.
That's the thing that I recognise, to be honest, because with players like John O'Shea, you're very rarely going to get it played out from the back. But I think he does offer that extra option, and if he does mould himself into that back line, I don't see why come late February, early March, he shouldn't be not necessarily a rock at the back, but fairly stable. Yeah,
it was a tough game for him, and being down to 10 men, I don't think anyone put any blame on him specifically for. I mean, I think he maybe could have defended better for the second goal, but I'm not going to blame him for that, really. But yeah, I thought he wasn't too bad, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he does in the next couple of games against the likes of Hull and Birmingham, who are
further down in relegation rivals
around where we are. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how he keeps going, and hopefully improves and builds on what could hopefully be a decent career at Sunderland for this period of time. So we'll move on to which, I mean, it's not even much better, but the transfer window is
supposed to be well and truly open at this rate, isn't it?
We're in the middle of January, so this week's been almost there's been absolutely nothing going apart from negatives, basically. With Jonathan Walters, it was looking like he was a viable option for Sunderland. Then he pulls up on Twitter and says,
it was literally last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was in a hospital bed. So,
and what was it? It looked like operation attire. So I'm guessing that's not good for him. So wish him all the best.
But I think I even saw Sean Dyche saying that it's looking very unlikely that he'll be leaving. I mean, we don't need another sort of injury. I'm not saying he's injury prone, but I mean,
somebody's coming in from an injury. Yeah.
If he needs another month to get full fitness, I don't want him, basically. But it's a shame, because he's a striker who would have wanted if he was fit. Because I mean,
he can still perform in the Premier League, and it's well known that he's capable of scoring at that level. And if he can do it there, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do it.
And I mean,
at the Championship,
he's a player who, the fans would get right behind as well, because he's done that. Obviously, Stoke fans
fans still love him. You can see it from the replies to his.
I think they'd probably take him back at the minute.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame about that one. And another man who we've been linked with is Ben Woodburn, and it's weird how such a thing as a Coutinho to Barcelona deal could affect Sunderland, but it has. And
it really is just another thing where you see it on Twitter and you can just feel a collective sigh going around the city.
Because I actually saw something in one of the national papers saying that he was going to join Sunderland. I mean, it might not have been that far from the truth that he wanted to join, maybe, but at the minute Liverpool won't be letting him go, and I suppose unless they get another wide player in, but
they don't seem too fussed with it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they just beat Man City, obviously who hadn't lost at all without Coutinho, so yeah. I mean, it can't be that bad.
I think that also he's a big one for the future, and they're going to want to try and mould him into that Liverpool style of player, and as opposed to send him out to various clubs.
And they'll even want, like, I don't think they'd probably want him going to a team who's losing every week. Cause
yeah, that must do stuff to your confidence that can't be repaired.
But yeah, so that's another X on the transfer list.
However, rumours starting last night, today, talking about Chris Martin potentially.
Yeah, apparently we have like open talks with Derby over a loan move, which I'd be absolutely right behind. He's a championship proven player in the past, and Derby have actually just brought in Cameron Jerome from Norwich, and they've also got like Matej Vidra, and they've got
Darren Bent.
Yeah,
famous Darren Bent.
I don't think he'll be playing for Derby anytime soon, but I mean they've got Dave Nugent as well, so they're pretty stacked up front, and they're basically the polar opposites to what we are at the minute. And he's a big, like, strong striker who will put himself about, and if we could get him literally as soon as possible, I'd even rate our chances of like doing something Hull higher if we got him in, because we need a boost almost, like someone to come in.
The club's on such a downer at the moment.
Just a couple of new faces to get the fans behind. I mean, imagine if he came in, scored the winner against Hull, the roof would lift off, and it'd be such a bonus to have a striker like positive. So, I mean, if Martin Bain can get that one sorted, I think you've got to do it before Friday about 12 o'clock.
I think
the deadline is, yeah. So, but even if we got him in like just a bit after, I'd still take it, like, because we'd need a striker basically. But
he's a proven goal scorer, isn't he? No matter where he's been, he's got a good record on him. We know that he can do it at championship level as well. Derby have the options there already. It's got all the makings for a transfer which I think both clubs could do very well out of.
Yeah, and I mean, Gabby Routes even said he didn't want him to go to a team which could be challenging Derby themselves.
Because he was linked with Leeds, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it's been blocked by the people at Derby. So, I mean, I don't think we can be challenging for promotion. So, yeah, that'd be a big boost if we could get that through. And I was also thinking, in other outgoings, we know about this in Didier Ndong, but now he's been banned for 3 games after obviously his appeal got turned down. So, do you reckon there'll be any more?
Outgoings?
Yeah, outgoings, that is.
I think that, I mean, there's not really many more players to get rid of, is there, at this rate? There's no attacking options. The only one I could see leaving is Ndong, and of course, Coleman potentially.
Yeah.
Who is he back to fitness? Because we're not really sure, are we?
I think he's been training obviously with the team, but I mean, how does he get a move? Does he want to play, and does he want to like put himself in the team? Because I can't see that going down well.
The thing is, with what Chris Coleman's been saying, is that players won't play if they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't want to be there,
I suppose Ndong played though. That's the difference. But yeah, it'll be intriguing to see, because I mean, but when it gets down to the end of the transfer window, teams panic. Like, it's players, like, if they haven't got that centre back or something, there's one available. Like,
I think he could be a fairly standard Premiership centre back.
Yeah.
Maybe not starting every game, but being an option. And in the Championship, he's got the ability. If he's got the mindset to do it, then all the best to him. But he's not going to have it while he's in Sunderland, I don't think.
Chris Coleman has actually came out and said there won't be any loan moves like for these sort of players, because unless there's an obligation where they have to sign him, because it's not going to benefit us him coming back in 6 months.
I mean, that's really good, because we were talking away from recording over the last week or so about the way that Sunderland have done their business, because it's always been, I mean, look at Jermaine Longs, look at Rabi Kazri, look at Gilabodji, I think he's still technically at Sunderland.
Yeah, they're all Sunderland players, really.
And it's all a case of getting rid of them on a temporary basis, and that's the worst way to do business in football. Definitely. It needs to be, get rid of them, don't have to think about them again, reap the rewards of whatever you can get from them, and then reinvest that if it's possible. But there is one more player who could be leaving potentially. I
think I know who you're on about here, because I was about to bring it up myself, and Jack Rodwell.
Mr. Robert, who's I think been sent some very interesting things on Twitter over the last 48 hours, because he's still refusing to rip up his contract.
It's the fact that he's like, I don't know if it's the journalist who's came to him, or he's told like the journalist to say, I want to do an interview, like basically. But I mean, I've just got no time. I skimmed through what he said. Like, I did read obviously the article, and I think it was the Daily Mail.
It was, yeah. Because it was Craig Hope with them.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know what he thinks he's going to do with his career. Like, he's acting like he wants to play centre back for England, I'm sure. And I mean, that's so far away. I mean, it's ridiculous, because
there's so many things that you can take from that interview with Craig Hope.
He said under Sam Allardyce he was playing well and playing regularly, and that didn't sound right when I was reading it. And having looking back, he started 6 games under Sam Allardyce, and I wouldn't define that as regularly. It's
a weird interview, isn't it? Because there's just, I mean, he said at one point that he's not in it for the money, he's in it for the football he wants to play, and fair play to him. I think any player worth his salt wants to do that.
And I mean, it's not his fault either that we give him £70,000 a week. I mean, whoever sanctioned that deal shouldn't be involved in football.
Was that Martin Bain, or was that before he came in?
No, that was well before
right.
Martin Bain. I don't know what he wants to do, because he wants to play football again, but I can't see anyone signing him.
Because I tweeted last night saying, after the way, if he wants football and he wants a new club, who's going to take him after not only the last 3 years of his career, as well as the way he's leaving now? I mean,
someone I think he's available for a free transfer now, because we're not bothered about transfer fees. We just want basically his wages off the club, sort of thing. But I think if he's available for free and no one wants him, that pretty much sums it up.
Because I was talking to a friend away from Sunderland, and I was explaining what was going on and how he was the only player whose wages didn't go down after the relegation last season, and he said, "How is the club run like that?
I know,
it's ridiculous. Like, Sunderland must be one of the only teams, at least one of the last top teams, to be doing contract deals like that."
Yeah, I mean,
and when it's £70,000 a week as well, it's not even as though it's easily the club's highest earner.
Oh, by miles now as well. But obviously his agent is pretty good to pull off a deal like that.
He must be to get that.
But the thing is that, like, he hasn't played football, it seems like, in ages. Because he even says half the time he's not injured, because people just think he's injured, because that's his, obviously he is injury prone. He seems to pick up little niggly injuries all the time, rather than actual ones where he's out for about 6 months, say Duncan Watmore has done the past couple of years. But
I mean, looking at his record under Simon Grayson, he made 3 appearances. One of those he came off, and one of those he came on. So
he has actually scored, but I mean, I think that was, if my memory serves me, it was against about Sheffield United, I think, where he came on and scored in the last minute of the game, when we were losing 3-0 or something stupid like that. So, but yeah, I don't know if he says he's been training 3 times a day as well to try and get fit, and I'd be tempted to just say if you want to play football, just if he's fit enough, because obviously there's no options we've got. Is there a time when we just throw him in?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if he wants to leave, he'll perform.
Yeah,
surely.
I know.
I mean, in my logic, if you don't want to be there, you've got an opportunity there to put yourself out there for clubs.
Yeah, but I suppose that's not really the mentality you sort of want from a player at your team.
Oh
but
no.
I suppose it needs must, but yeah, I can't see him. I can't see him leaving in this window.
If he does, it won't be to another club. But I can't see Sunderland paying him off, because where's the money going to come from?
Yeah, it's a lot of money just to like tear up his contract and give him all the money.
I'm trying to
basically.
remember how much they'd have to give him, because it's in the millions. Isn't it?
It's a lot of money, and he doesn't want to like just leave the club and go to obviously he wants to transfer, not to be a free agent.
Because it's 18 months left on 70 grand a year contracts. But it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot of money. Maybe through the Ndong deal, if that was to happen, they could get most of it gone.
But even then, that's not where you want your money going.
Oh no.
Obviously to pay a lump sum, it's not what you want to be doing. But moving away from
that negativity, onto some more, I'm guessing.
On some more negatives, and going back to transfers. There's been a bit more talk this week just about how Ellie Shaw just he needs just to almost free up something. We're not asking for a lot. We're not asking for
There's not much more to free up at the club, is there?
We just pull out of his pockets, but I mean he just needs to try and, if he could give us even about 5 to 7 million. It's not asking a lot for when you compare it to
for who he is, and considering what other Championship clubs are getting. It's not much at all.
I know.
I mean, especially with parachute payments and all that.
When you think about how much Middlesbrough spent in the summer window, we're not asking for that. We're asking for maybe one or two, what you consider really cheap players. It's almost now, but because I mean Martin Bain's got a lot of stick, and I think probably rightfully so in a lot of cases. But
to an extent, because he did come in when the club was already on its way down.
But I mean, he's given him so little to work with. I mean,
in a way, I might get stick for saying this, but I almost feel sorry for Martin Bain. I know there's a lot of things that he's said and a lot of things that he's done that have, I wouldn't say ruined the club.
Yeah, but I mean,
to an extent, haven't helped the situation. But he like you said, he can only do stuff if the opportunity is given to him.
I think he did alright with what we got. We managed to get so many players in the summer window with no money. I mean, the most we spent I think was on James Vaughan, actually, who's now obviously left the club and permanently to go to Wigan. But I mean, that was less than $1 million, and to get likes of Aidan McGeady for 200 grand.
I think that's. I mean, before I saw him play for Sunderland, I was thinking this could be still, if not the summer, then definitely the Championship.
Yeah, I mean,
over the summer, but it's just not happens.
Well, he's been inconsistent, but I can't argue with the transfer because of how little we paid.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So yeah, and he even managed to prize away some players for nothing, literally just get almost what we kind of want to do with Rodwell, get rid of them off their wage bill sort of thing. With like McManaman, I mean he hasn't been good either, to be fair, but
I think the intention was there.
Yeah,
and the intentions were good.
I mean, if you could, the likes of, obviously we'll talk about Chris Martin, if you can get that one off the line, and then say because we've been looking at a lot of the youth sort of market with the top teams like Chelsea and Woodburn, Liverpool, and been linked with Man City striker as well on loan from their basic youth side as well. So
there's always going to be options there. It's just, especially with those sort of academies that we've got in this country, but it's going to be tough to prize those top talents away, because if you are a Jurgen Klopp, a Pep Guardiola, a Mourinho, a Conte, are you really going to let one of your prized possessions in 5-10 years come to a situation like this?
And obviously time as well, people are impatient when it comes to transfers as well, and
especially after the last few years that the club's given them. Yeah,
and after every negative result, people go back to why haven't we tried to buy or tried to loan.
It is just building up, isn't it? And it has been over the last 2 weeks or so.
That's why it makes it more fundamental. Why especially when it comes out in the media as well, like you don't see many transfers where it's like it says nothing and then we go, oh, we've signed this guy. I remember it happened with like Jilabodji where no one really knew about it until like someone literally tweeted saying, oh, we've got a new signing. So
things if this Chris Martin deal does come through, and you said this earlier on, if he does end up getting in fairly early and playing against Hull and doing well against Hull, maybe getting a goal, maybe getting a point or a win, just something that could build something, because we saw the momentum after the Fulham game, that win, and there was just no way that the club built on that. And if they could have done, we'd be very. I think the conversations that we're having today could be very different. Yeah,
because that's the next step after we do win a game, is that we win another one straight after.
Yeah.
And with obviously I think I've seen Bolton and Burton and maybe even Birmingham have had a couple good results over like a short period of time, where Sunderland, it's one step forward and then about 3 or 4 steps back. And that needs to change, because we're not going to get anywhere unless we can win like 2 or 3 or like even like 2 or 3, 4 games where we win a couple, draw a couple, like go unbeaten.
I think at this point, Sunderland are lucky in the fact that it's still so tight at the bottom. Because even Barnsley are in 19th, they're only 5 points above Sunderland. So there's always, again, if the whole game on Saturday, if they win that and other results go their way, Sunderland could be out of the relegation places. Yeah, it's so tight.
And then obviously, say if Birmingham didn't win, like we'd be above them, and then say if we got a positive result against them, it's just starts to look a bit brighter. But we've said this before in the past, and in Sunderland, like the team, hopefully with a couple of additions in the next couple of weeks, need to do it. Need to just
things we keep when it comes to that sort of thing. We keep repeating the same thing over and over again. And you said before, it's fundamental that these things do happen. Because if they don't, then these conversations are just going to keep going, and then the transfer window's gone, and then it's just going to be a case of what can we do now till May? Yeah,
it sort of just any way possible grind out the results. I mean, we've seen they can keep clean sheets at some like away, especially away.
Look at the Wolves game.
Yeah, and even the Forest game as well, where we must get 3 points. I mean, we had one shot on the whole game, but again,
it's those sort of results that you need.
I know.
If you can get 3 points, like no matter how it happens, they are the results that are going to get you up the table and start to build confidence. And before you know it, I mean, again, after the Fulham game, or before the Fulham game, we were saying if you win against Fulham, the momentum starts from there. But it just didn't, and it's so tough to get excited when you know there's a chance that it could all just come crumbling down.
Yeah, you almost need like a big like sort of like 3-0, but like obviously it's tough to ask for that at the minute. But I mean, looking toward a bit more in depth towards Hull, like that's what actually did happen last time we played Hull at the Stadium, I think.
And what an afternoon that was. Victor Anichebe, the absolute fridge of a man, just bumbling his way through.
That was Anichebe's best performance, I'd probably say, just past the Bournemouth game when we came in.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that was one of the few times in under David Moyes where we looked good.
We actually looked, competent.
And we had, I remember, it was almost like playing 4-3-3 with like 3 attackers almost, because I remember it was Watmore who played really well that period of time, and
was Seb Lawson one of them? Because that's his move to Hull, hasn't it? Was he in there?
I don't think so. But
I mean, if it was a win, probably not.
But it was Defoe and Anichebe and Watmore, and Anichebe just bullied everyone. And Defoe scored a brilliant goal as well. And I mean, that was the first time, I think one of the few times that front three played together, because Watmore got injured for the whole season.
That was the Arsenal game, wasn't it? I think. Yeah.
And Anichebe got injured for, I can't remember.
I think most of the season after that, to be honest.
Most of it anyway, at least. But then obviously you leave Defoe by himself, he can't do it all, so yeah. But there will be a few familiar faces. Seb Larson, Fraser Campbell, who's actually been in touch with Watmore, I've seen in the past week or so, saying, because obviously he's had a bad injury at Sunderland, so that was obviously nice of him.
So he's now got Watmore's now got the support of Fraser Campbell and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
surreal couple in there.
Yeah, but obviously David Myler as well, who's one of Hull's better players now.
Yeah, he's playing a deeper role, isn't he?
Yeah.
In a 4-2-3-1, who he was in the last game for them against Reading.
And obviously, like, they've got some. I mean, obviously it's similar to Sunderland sort of position there. Obviously they are where they are because they deserve to be obviously down there.
The players they've got, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the squad now, and I can't see how they're in the situation they're in. Because if you look at Neuer Dicko, when he was at Wolves, he was ripping it up. He was doing so well for them.
I think injuries hampered him a bit over the time, but they've got some alright players, and it'll be interesting to see how they approach the game at Stadium Live, because you'd think they'd be going into it thinking this is the game we need to win, but after looking at their previous fixtures, like, they'll have said the exact same thing when they played Bolton and they got beat off Bolton. So
I mean, if you do look at their last few results, they've not won in the league in their last 6.
That was going back to the Brentford game, and
that's the thing. If they can beat Brentford are a good side, and if they're not good overall, they're entertaining. They're good to watch.
Yeah.
So there's talent there.
But you've got to think they'll be out of form as well. They can't be that confident, even though they did manage to beat Blackburn in the cup. But they followed that up by just drawing at home to Reading, and obviously Reading haven't pulled up many trees this season. So
that's the thing. In the last few games, they've struggled to beat Reading and Bolton. So I'm not saying they're horrendous teams, but they're the sort of teams that you'd expect a squad like that to be putting up a good game against.
Yeah, it's intriguing to see how Sunderland will line up, because obviously Chris Coleman seems to like the 5 at the back, with, like, obviously bringing in Clark Salter as well. Like, he fits right into that system as the left-sided centre back. So
are you still feeling Mark Wilson in centre mid?
Oh God, no. I forgot about that.
It's one of those things where there's not really any other options, is there?
And obviously with Ndong being suspended, whether it
gives a chance for Lee Catamol potentially to come in, which I'm not sure what's worse, to be honest.
It just gets worse and worse every week. But I saw recently that Coleman actually did say that the likes of John O'Shea and Catamol have got a lot of stick for this sort of negative, like, attitude at the club, that these are, like, almost like the rotten core. They've been there too long.
Yeah.
But he backed them. Like, he didn't say a negative word about them, saying these are the sort of players you need. They've been at the club. They're all, even when, like, Catmull was suspended or injured or whatever, and he was saying he turned up every day, trained. He was always trying to help other people in that. And I suppose from that perspective,
I think when you've been at a club like Sunderland for that long, you really start to feel it. I mean, I've only lived in the city for just over a year and a half now, but I'm feeling attached to the club.
Yeah,
and it's the sort of club that really gets onto your skin.
And that's. I only wish there was more positives over that period of time, but I don't think you can question that O'Shea and Catmull, they will, like, basically they'll love Sunderland because they've been there for that long.
Yeah, they're not the sort of players who are mercenaries, are they?
No,
they really. You can see it when, not necessarily in their talent, but the pride when they walk out and the way that they attempt to play well says a lot.
Yeah, and
despite their potential, like, limited capability.
Yeah, and obviously there's a reason why they've both been, like, captains of the club, and I've seen Catmull in the past play, like, really well, and, like, so, like, the typical Catmull performance you'd imagine.
Yeah.
The battling, he'll try and block everything.
Things he did miss out a lot of last season.
Yeah.
So I know we're a few months into this year now, but there's still got to be some rustiness potentially.
He's in the end, I just don't think he's the player he was 5 years ago.
Because how old is he now? What, low 30s at least?
I think he's getting up to 30s now, around 29. But he's had. I've criticised him a lot this season, and
I think everyone has, to be honest.
I mean, he's
there you go,
it.
29. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he's still at a decent age for a centre midfielder as well. And he's never been quick, so he's not going to lose much pace. But he almost just, like, I really want a good Catmull performance if he is to play against Hull, because
I think if if Hull line up in a similar way as they have done, it'd potentially be him basically man marking Seb Larsson. And after seeing Larsson a lot last season,
I think that'll be an easy job.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but I'd love it. I'd love to see a good captain performance because I think the crowd would as well because it's something to get behind, like something to almost like
you
build
just
on.
need a couple of crunching tackles,
Yeah,
get
but
the crowd going, and from there you can try and build on that. I think.
just set the tone of how this Sunderland team's going to perform. They're going to put like all the effort in, and obviously that's the minimum you always want to see. It's about the quality which we've lacked as well, because especially considering you've only got one striker and he's basically a kid, 19 years old. He's only just turned 19.
I think I'll keep going back to the Fulham game, but he's built up, or he's got a lot of praise from that.
Yeah.
And if he can build on that, fair play to him. But he's still young. He's younger than us. He's got a lot of pressure on him now.
It's like I feel sorry for him being like in the situation he is because he wants to play football obviously in the Championship because it's a high level football, but if he was playing in like a team where we were like 8th or like 7th and looking for promotion and a couple of injuries, or like we'd sold a couple of players where he'd got up a bit, he'd be thinking, oh yeah, he's this young kid, we'll bring her in a couple of times, he might like say start if we did 2 up front, but no, he's there by himself in a team struggling, so it's really hard for him to try and influence a game if he's not going to get the service as well.
Yeah, because again, that's another thing. It's like you can be as good a striker as you want, and if you're not getting the ball from your midfield, especially when you've had midfielders like Catamol and Don, it's tough to really get anything going. And we saw that with Jermaine Defoe. Imagine the goals that he could have got but with a I don't want to say competent again, but with a half decent midfield last season. Yeah,
and I think it'll be tough against a player like Michael Dawson with Magic, because obviously he might not be a brilliant centre back anymore, but he's experienced.
He's so experienced. He knows exactly what he's doing.
He can read the game. I think he'll enjoy playing against Magic. But that's the test for Magic. Can he be a bit quicker, a bit more nimble than Dawson, and try and obviously the movement is key. Can he get them little spaces? Can he get half a yard? Can he get a yard to get a shot away inside the box? But I think a lot's going to be made on who's in on the wings and in the midfield.
You talk about the wingers there. I think one player to look out for Hull is Ola Aina. Is it Aina? One of the two. But I think he's on loan from Chelsea. He's full-back, can play on either side. And from what I've seen of him in the past, he's a very good player. I'm not sure if, because he is right-footed, how well he'd fit out on the left, so he might well stay back a bit more.
Yeah.
If Sunderland are gonna have, Lyndon Gooch out wide again, then it's going to be one of those things where you are just having to look inside, because I know that he can do well.
Yeah, and I think obviously the onus is on the creative players for Sunderland. Well, I do say creative, but I doubt the creative that much. But the likes of I still think I don't mind Honeyman as a player, but he needs to
he needs to offer more.
Yeah, if he's in the team constantly, he's always there. He needs to create a bit more than he does. But he's not the sort of player which is going to get 10 assists over a season. We don't have that sort of player at the team, but players like McGeady, Gooch, Honeyman all have to they have to try and step up a notch and actually sort of influence games a bit more. So we'll finish it off with the usual predictions, and I'm gonna go with 2-0 Sunderland. We're gonna bounce back.
Hello.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna get right behind the crowd. God knows who's gonna score, but I'm gonna go 2-0.
I know from Rory, he's obviously not here with us today. He said it's going to be 2-1 Hull. I think he said.
Yeah, 2-1. He said. So.
And honestly, it really is a tough one this week, because both teams are coming in out of form. Hull have got the players. Sunderland have the home advantage. I can't see anything between it. I can see Hull scoring 2, but I can somehow see Sunderland putting in just as many. I think I'm going to stick with that 2-2.
Should be a good game then.
I'm hoping so anyway.
Alright, that pretty much wraps up this episode, and be sure to check out us on YouTube and Twitter, and we'll see you next time.